I'm Sarah Knight, and welcome to It's Got Pockets, where just like finding the surprise pockets in your favourite trousers, I'm bringing you perfect pockets of joy and realness. Every week, I'm having unfiltered conversations with women who crack the feck on, even when life gets proper lifey. Women with experience, expertise and wisdom. Because sometimes the best stories start in the middle. Women who've been there, done that, and they're still figuring it out. Join me for real talk, useful tactics, and all the swears in between that make your life and business feel that bit more manageable. Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of It's Got Pockets. I'm going to have to stop saying another episode because there's so many flying in now, and I'm bloody still loving it, everybody. This is little solo episode. This is from me to you, from my heart, my head to your heart. So let's get into it. This one has been brewing for a while, actually. I've had so many conversations lately, whether it's with clients, women in business, women in the Found Her Fire collective, mates over a glass of wine when we're walking the dog, and the same theme keeps coming up. In fact, last week I was doing a talk with a women in business community, and it was all about my inner edge principle of how we build our inner edge. I've got 9 pillars that we go through, not all of them in a talk because there's no time, although I could talk for England, as you've probably realised why I started doing a bloody podcast. However, the theme that comes up again and again and again is that thing of the fact we are constantly proving ourselves. Proving ourselves to who? To ourselves, to other people around us. And we need to move from proving to owning. We're absolutely knackered from proving ourselves all the time. Proving we're good enough, proving we still got it, proving we're not too emotional or too direct or too ambitious or too much, proving we're worthy of a seat at the table. And then once we're there, if we actually get there, proving we deserve to keep it. And the thing is, we don't often realise we're doing it. It's so baked into us, we think it's normal. We think that's how we need to act. That's how we need to move forward. And that is what is bloody driving us into a corner rocking. Well, along with, all the other things like menopause and life and everyone asking what's for fucking tea and the husband asking where his shorts are and all the other different things that go on, all those things as well, holding the sky up in general. But it's really important that we acknowledge it. Have a little think now. Are you constantly trying to prove yourself? And who are you proving yourself to? Is it to you? Is it to other people in the room? Is it because there's a thing out there that you think you should be, a blueprint that you think you should be performing against? A few years ago, I was invited to speak at this leadership event. It was a big bloody deal, and it was a big deal audience. It was massive. It was actually in a theatre, so I had to walk down as if it was like a cinema, and all the audio was in there. It was super tech. And of course I said yes, because why wouldn't I? That's what I do for a living, and I was getting paid for it. And boom, I've made it. Hooray. And then I spent 3 weeks spiraling about whether I was really ready, whether I should try and add more stats to sound more clever, whether my style was polished enough, whether I was going to be relevant for the room. And then I started asking people, what do you think I should talk about? And I started listening to people who all gave me their opinion on what they thought, which then made me question myself even more on what I thought and what I should be doing. And I reworked the talk so many times, it was ridiculous. I reworked the talk actually on a script, on paper. I reworked it in my head about 70 billion times at 3:00 in the morning. I was up, I was down, I was fucking knackered thinking about how good this talk should be. Will I be good enough? And then when I got on stage, I fluffed it. I fluffed my intro. And one of the things that I've always done is I've always prepared my intro. Then the middle bit tends to go off in different directions. And then the exit, what my mic drop moment, I know what I'm going to say. But I fluffed the start of it. And actually, what really resonated was when I ditched the script of what I thought other people wanted to hear. And I took a breath and I just told the truth. The real, unpolished me, northern truth teller, doing her best truth. And that was the moment that people leaned in. Not the look how smart I am bit, not the look, I've got this, I can prove to myself I know this, I know all the behavioral science, look at all my qualifications. It was the this is what I've lived through bit. Here's my experience. And actually, this is what it gifts everybody in the room. When I told my words, my truth, where I owned the real me, when I stood up and I was proud of the skin that I lived in and the stories that I had and the experience that I had. And that's the difference between proving and owning. Proving is external, owning is internal. Proving is performance, owning is presence. And the truth is, most of us have been conditioned to prove, especially, let's face it, as women in business. Working in business, living in business, running in business, leading teams, we have been conditioned to prove ourselves. And the stats back it up. If we need stats, as if we need stats, but let's talk about the stats. McKinsey found that 43% of senior women experience burnout. And a huge chunk of that is tied to the emotional labour and the constantly having to prove that you belong. And then there's the Harvard study that found, no surprise here, ladies, that men are assessed on potential while women are judged on performance. We get the job once we've already done the job over and over again. And some of that is because we don't step up when we deserve the job. We feel we have to prove we can do it before we can step up. We internalize it, we over prepare, we overwork, we overthink. We try and make ourselves smaller, smoother, safer. We shrink to fit. That's what I did so many times. I was shrinking to fit in the rooms I thought I deserved to be in before I went, fuck my life. I am not shrinking to fit anymore. This is me. And if you don't like it, do one, Doris. So here's what I want to say today. This is from me to you. There is a point in your journey, especially in this plot twist era that I talk about all the time, where something shifts. Maybe you've been made redundant. Maybe something personal has flipped your priorities. When life has got lifey and just made you sit the fuck down and go, what the actual? Or maybe you're just simply fed up of holding the sky up for every single body else. Every single body else. Does that even make sense? For everyone else. Maybe you're finally thinking, what about me? But there comes a moment when you're forced to stop. And in that pause, in that space where everything feels a little bit scratchy and nothing feels certain, that's where you get the chance to reconsider. That's where you get the chance to reimagine. That's where you get the chance to reset. Not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it. And that, my lovely friend, is the moment you stop proving and you start owning. It doesn't happen overnight. It absolutely does not happen overnight. It's an ever evolving journey. That was me trying to sound American. Probably didn't do it because I can't do accents. But it's the moment that you stop proving and you start owning. It's not like you wake up one day and all the people pleasing, all the imposter thoughts, all the side eyeing, all the comparison just suddenly disappears. I still absolutely have moments when I look around the room and I think, do they actually know I'm making this up as I go along? But now I catch it way quicker. I breathe, I reset, and I remind myself that my worth isn't up for debate. It's not something I need to rehearse. It's not something I choose to step into. And that's the bit we don't talk about enough, choice. We think about doing differently. We talk about it. We say, I know I need to stop overworking. I know I need to exercise more. I know I need to stop apologizing. I know I need to change more. I know I need to do this. But we don't act because action feels risky. Ownership feels really bloody exposed. It really does feel exposed, I can tell you. I expose myself on this. Well, that sounds a bit wrong. On this podcast every bloody week because I tell the truth. I tell the truth about me. But let me ask you this. Are you ready for a little riddle? There's 5 frogs sitting on a log. 4 frogs decide to jump in. How many frogs are left on a log? 5 frogs. Because deciding to do something and doing something is really bloody different. It takes action. The truth is, you can't think your way into confidence. You have to act your way into it. Confidence needs receipts and needs evidence. It's a muscle that we build. And that's why I created Found Her Fire, the collective, a brilliant collective of brilliant women who are the human scaffolding system for each other. Because if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. We hold each other up. It's why I talk about the inner edge all the time, because it's about what we develop inside us that creates the external outside. Because this chapter of our lives, it's not about pushing harder or ticking another box. It really is about alignment, that really overused words. It's about integrity. It is about self-intention. It's about deciding what your next version of success looks like. And it's not about external validation. It's about how we view ourselves internally. It's about our internal freedom. And for that, we need to start showing up like we already belong. So let me leave you with this. And be honest with yourself. Hold a mirror up, because that's the bloody bit, that's the difficult bit to do. Where are you still proving? Where are you shrinking yourself to feel enough? Where are you waiting for someone to give you permission to own your brilliance? Searching for that external validation, where in actual fact, the only person that needs to give you permission is you. Because if you're listening to this, the chances are you're already overqualified, overcapable, and done with being underestimated, especially by yourself. So here's your nudge. Stop tweaking that bloody bio and just post the bloody thing. Say the thing in your meeting, even if your voice shakes. Quote your full rate. And don't bloody apologise for it. Shut up afterwards. This is what I'm worth. And take up space. Not because you've earned it, because you own it, because it's yours. Because this next version of you, she's not waiting to be chosen. She's not performing anymore. She's already here, my friend. This is your time. You just need to step into that space where you're owning who you are right now and you're no longer proving it. See you next time. Take care. As we button up another episode of It's Got Pockets, remember that just like that perfect dress with hidden storage, you've got pockets of potential. You can be exactly who you are meant to be with no one getting in your way, not even yourself. Just remember, you're not done yet. That plan B or plan C might be waiting for you. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to work with me, or simply want to connect, come and find me at sarahknightconsultancy.co.uk or on LinkedIn, you'll find me as Nighty S. See you next time.